Coming up on Exclusive Doctors DFW, Demora at one time weighed over 300 pounds, and look at her now. We'll tell you how Demora got her life back. Cordelia could hardly walk until a DFW vein specialist stepped in with a certain procedure. We'll show you how one of the best plastic surgeons in Dallas-Fort Worth helped Jamie get her figure back. How about the story of Tiffany? She struggled to have children until she turned to a special doctor. And Diana was in so much pain she could hardly walk until Dr. Ty got her back on her feet. We'll have these stories and much more coming up on a special edition of Exclusive Doctors DFW. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Knox and we welcome you to this special edition of Exclusive Doctors DFW. This show is all about outstanding doctors in the Dallas-Fort Worth area helping their patients get back to living their lives to the fullest. Like Demora. Demora had one big problem. She was overweight. In fact, she weighed over 300 pounds. But that quickly changed thanks to one of the best bariatric surgeons here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So actually I met Dr. B 3 years before I had the surgery. When I was 18, he did my mom's surgery first. And he asked me if, well, I told him I think I was interested in it. And he told me to wait until I was really serious. And I came back, I was 21 and I was 365 pounds and I wasn't happy. And I was ready to make a big decision. And I saw the success my mom had and I saw how he was as a doctor. He didn't just want patients or money. He didn't just want to make sure my insurance was covering it. He wanted to make sure I would have a good transition and be successful, and that's the type of surgeon I wanted to do my surgery.
Demora is a pretty special character. First of all, she's young, she's got a beautiful personality and just a beautiful soul, but she was trapped. She was trapped in this body that was, nearly 400 pounds. She couldn't socialize the way she wanted to. She couldn't participate in sports and activities like she wanted to.
I felt not my age. Like, could you imagine being 21 years old and nearly 400 pounds? Like, I was always tired and sluggish and never wanted to go out, never wanted to do things. And the more weight I gained, the less of myself I was becoming. I had doctors telling me, like, you'll never have kids if you don't lose weight, if you don't do something serious. It was just really depressing. To think that it was only a year ago that I was at that mental space, it's kind of unimaginable. It's hard to quantify.
We performed the sleeve gastrectomy with duodenal switch. She recovered nicely, and a year later, literally, it's been her 1 year surgery anniversary. She has lost a tremendous amount of weight. She has, she's playing rugby now. She's socializing with, friends like she was not able to before. And she says, in her own words, I didn't realize what a sad life I was living. And now that this has come off, the weight has come off and I have this newfound energy, I'm just exploring things I never thought I would.
I weigh 204 pounds as of right now. I feel amazing. I play rugby. I go for walks with my dogs. We go for hikes. I work for the airline, so I love to travel. I recently just saw a family for the first time and literally jaws on floor. They couldn't believe it was me. They didn't recognize me. I still see friends from high school that haven't seen me in a while and they'll walk past me and I'm like, hey, it's crazy. To be over 150 pounds lost, that's a whole person. I tell people, anyone who listens, that Dr. B saved my life, because if I was 21 and 365, there was nowhere to go at that point. Like, it would have been so much worse. I couldn't have imagined where I would have been at 25 if I hadn't made the decision. And he did, he saved my life, and I'm so much happier and I'm really thankful for it.
Demora continues to do well, and she right now enjoys traveling and someday would like to be a flight attendant. Well, there are a lot of people that suffer from pain in their legs. Some people, like Cordelia, describe it as a constant Charlie horse. Well, Cordelia could hardly walk due to so much pain until she found vein specialist Dr. Thomas Eitzen.
First of all, I had a stroke in 1990 that put me in a wheelchair, and I was in a wheelchair for a lot of years, and I'd get in and out. But for the last, I'd say 11 to 12 years, I've had to use a rollator more than I was able to walk. And luckily, my primary physician that came to me by a stint at the emergency room, he said, look, we're not going to give up. We tried a foot specialist because we thought maybe it's, neuropathy. Then he tried a heart specialist, and a vascular part of her found out that it was this.
So Cordelia, basically when she first came to us, she was miserable. She was basically struggled to walk. She wasn't sleeping. Similar issues. She had severe swelling. She had severe leg pain. Apparently, she even was told that she'd probably end up being wheelchair bound, and that would be her life. And again, results vary from person to person, of course, but she had the underlying vein issue. Her symptoms fit. We gave her the option. We can try this, and it's the risks are very low.
At Atlas Vein Care, I walked in. They did an ultrasound the same day, the very first time they saw me, and that's when they saw it's like, I call them blood balloons because it's like a water balloon, and there was a whole bunch here. My leg would be 3, sometimes even 5 times larger, and this was consistently. I could not take a shower. I wasn't sleeping, not even with the nerve cream they gave me. And Dr. Edison, when he realized what happened, he did the radio frequency ablation procedure. It's like, as soon as he did my top leg, okay, my quad area, I felt like he took all these concrete rocks out. And then when I came back the second day, and he took which I had a whole lot down in my calf area, when he took that out, I felt my leg was like a butterfly. It's like it was so heavy. And now I've got my life back. I'm me. I get to do my new reality show. I get to travel.
And she's another case where many people had given up hope, and we offer the option to try this, and she significantly improved. I mean, to the point of now she's dancing, her swelling's gone, her pain is basically gone. She's practically a new person.
It's like I feel like I'm a little girl inside. I have a magical, blessed life because of this man. Everyone here at Atlas Vein Care, they listened to me. They knew I was at a point I didn't trust a lot of doctors anymore. I have been trying for, like I said, actually almost 17 years trying to get my legs straightened out. And doctor after doctor and specialist after specialist, they want to help you, but they didn't know how. And that's when they sent me here. And when they sent me here, they gave me the miracle of giving me my life back.
Right now, Cordelia continues to enjoy walking, but pain-free. Coming up, Tiffany had trouble getting pregnant, but not anymore. And the story of Jamie. This mother got her figure back thanks to one plastic surgeon here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
What's the difference between bronchitis and pneumonia? Here it is. Bronchitis is inflammation and usually infection of a mild form in the bronchial tubes. It doesn't result in a lot of fluid in the air pockets called the alveoli spaces, but it does result in a lot of bronchial tube inflammation and swelling and mucus, and that's why you cough up stuff. Now, pneumonia is a progression from bronchitis whereby the bronchitis, which is mainly an infection of the bronchial tubes, where that gets down into the alveoli air spaces and fluid develops. And that fluid develops, that's pneumonia. And it's infected fluid, and that's bad. And you'll see it on x-ray, of course, whereas in bronchitis, you won't see it on x-ray. Bronchitis usually does not have fever, and if so, it's very mild. Pneumonia does. Pneumonia, you feel a lot worse, of course, and you tend to get worse and worse, and you may have some chest pain when you take a deep breath. But the biggest difference, again, is inflammation of the bronchial tubes, that's bronchitis, and fluid in the air spaces, that's pneumonia, and needs treatment with antibiotics for sure.
In today's competitive digital world, it's more important than ever that your business stands out. And the way you do that is with video. As one of the country's leading video content providers, Identity Media Services can help you attract new clients. Our Emmy Award-winning crews are constantly working on videos ranging from corporate and marketing, commercials, medical and health, training and education. We do it all right here at the IMS Studios in Dallas-Fort Worth. And because of that, we're able to save our clients hundreds and oftentimes thousands. We live in a world today where video is king, and if you don't have it on your website or in the social media space, then you're not going to be seen by potential clients. In fact, research shows that people are over 70% more likely to click on a website with video than one without. So if you want your business to be seen and to stand out from your competitors, or simply tell your business story in a professional manner, then you need to schedule a consultation with us today. Give us a call or check us out at identitymediaservices.com for more information.
It was really difficult for my husband and I. I was taking injections twice a day. I was also taking about 17 different supplements.
We had to find a way to take the 17 pills and how do you take that and make it 5 pills?
We narrowed it down to 6 core principal ingredients to give us the best fertility supplement on the market.
There's nothing else, all 6, no fluff.
Welcome back to Exclusive Doctors DFW. Tiffany tried for years to have a baby, but had a difficult time. But her special day came thanks to the help of infertility specialist, Dr. Karen Lee.
Oh man, it was definitely a struggle. We before we even started trying, she saw OBGYN, was it? Mm-hmm. And the OBGYN told us that she can't have children. It's not even good for her to try. So I mean, that was something that was like, yeah, right, lady, whatever.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with PCOS, again, like he said, by my OBGYN. So 3 years after we were ready to start to have children, and my OB here at the time referred us to Dr. Lee.
I met Tiffany and her husband Derek back in approximately 2010 or 11, and she came to see me for a long period of infertility. She had been diagnosed with an ovulation dysfunction called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. And after some additional treatment, this was complicated by having a tubal or ectopic pregnancy.
Dr. Lee just ran more tests to confirm the polycystic ovarian syndrome, and we started the process. We did 2 IUIs, intrauterine insemination, and we were successful twice, but however, we had an ectopic miscarriage both times that we were successful, and so we had to move on with IVF.
Ultimately, they underwent IVF, or in vitro fertilization, and that led to a successful singleton pregnancy.
We had a little boy, his name is Caleb. He's 4 now. Caleb's very rambunctious, very questionative. He asks a million questions a day. He's very talkative. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing when I look at my son and I look at my face and her face put together. It's like, okay, this is weird. Yeah. But it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting Caleb earlier this year. He is a very energetic 4-year-old boy. Tiffany did have some pregnancy complications that led to a preterm delivery, but ultimately after moderate NICU stay, he's doing great.
We knew that we wanted to have a family. We were willing to do whatever we had to do to have that family, and Dr. Lee helped us be successful with that.
She was so sweet.
Yeah, very,
She is so sweet,
daughter.
so nice, so sweet. I think the first time that we met with her, she told us, she was like, yeah, we're gonna do everything we can to get that miracle here. And after that, she had me on board with her. I was like, let's go, Dr. Lee, you are my people.
She was very honest, but very empathetic at the same time. I could tell that she cared and she was concerned about us, not just as a patient, but as people, as individuals. She was concerned for us, so that made a world of difference for me. Go see Dr. Lee, she's amazing.
Tiffany and family continue to do well thanks to Dr. Lee. Now to the story of Jamie. This mother had some trouble spots until she turned to one of the best plastic surgeons here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dr. Michael Bogdan.
I have 3 boys, I have 3 kids, and so it just seemed that after each one, your body it takes a toll. And so by the 3rd, I think I had just kind of hit my point where I was like, all right, something's gonna have to change, and I knew physically that I wasn't where I wanted to be. I started working out and stuff on my own, trying to get back to some, level of health and fitness, and it just wasn't working. I had looked at, everybody kind of in the Metroplex, and I had gone to several different, interviews. Dr. Bogdan, I kind of kept going back to him, and so I decided to finally just break down and go check him out before I made a final decision. Once I met with him, I knew that was the direction I wanted to go.
So Jamie is about 34 years old now. She's a mother of 2, and I met her approximately 2 years ago. When she came in, she was worried about changes from having children, right? She had a lot of stretch marks on her abdomen. It was very stretched out, and even despite exercise, she couldn't improve on it anymore. So there's muscle layers that go around your body that come all the way to the front, and in the middle there's a layer where no muscles cross, right? That's called the, linea alba. If it gets stretched out, it doesn't come back together. Some people can do a ton of oblique crunches and make it tight, right, assuming they have a small separation, but if you have a real separation, even that doesn't work. So somebody who has a lot of stretch marks in the front, you can assume that they had a lot of damage below as well, so they kind of go hand in hand. To get rid of the extra skin and tighten up the muscles, the tummy tuck's really the only way to do it.
I had the standard tummy tuck and lipo on the back, just for contouring, kind of to help with that. When your skin gets so stretched out and they take that away, the skin on the back still remains, so you want to try to make it all look right. And I thought, if I'm going through this, I might as well make it the best that I can. So that was the thought process behind having both of those done at the same time.
So we decided to go ahead with an abdominoplasty as well as waistline contouring. So the abdomen part she saw in about 6 weeks, right? So she got a pretty nice change just from that, pulling in the stomach, tightening it up and making it flat. But the lipo part, again, takes about 6 months to see the final result. She's now gotten into fitness, she's a trainer, and so she really gets to show off the results.
Since having the surgery, I've been able to get back to even better shape probably than I've ever been in. I'm now a personal trainer, actually, so I've taken that a step further. As corny and cheesy as it sounds, it really has kind of given me back my life, being able to do the things that I wasn't able to do before and feel as good as I do now and better than I had in a really, really long time. So I felt like I was me again. I would definitely refer Dr. Bogdan. He was patient and explains everything thoroughly, which I really like. I'd never really gone through a major surgery of any kind or having to be put down voluntarily, so that was just nervous. And he's very level-headed and very calm, and so it was nice to have him there, you know, kind of calming me down, and I couldn't be happier, you know, with the outcome.
Jamie continues to be excited about her results, and she credits Dr. Michael Bogdan. Coming up, after surgery, people are getting back on their feet faster thanks to Dr. Charles Tolson. And Diana was in so much pain she could hardly walk, but now she's back on her feet, pain-free.
Ever wonder why it seems that your child always gets sick in the middle of the night or on a holiday? Or how about at work when you don't have time to make an appointment to see a doctor? And this is my favorite. You go to one of those corner urgent care centers only to be sent home to wait for a call when they can see you hours later. There really never is a good time to get sick. All you want to do is talk to a doctor quick and get relief. Well, that summarizes what Best Docs Live is all about. An online system allowing you to speak to a physician, not a nurse practitioner or physician's assistant, and have the doctor evaluate the situation, make a diagnosis, and if warranted, electronically send a prescription to your neighborhood pharmacy. No hassle, no waiting, no scheduling issues. Just go to bestdocslive.com, follow the easy navigation instructions, and resume your normal activities. So the next time the bug hits you or your family, there's only one thing you need to remember: bestdocslive.com.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back to Exclusive Doctors DFW. Now we turn our attention to Dr. Charles Tolson. Dr. Tolson is performing robotic surgery, which appears to be getting his patients back on their feet faster.
We're so excited to offer our residents in North Texas the ability to perform hip and knee replacement with the most cutting-edge technology available today. Every patient who's a candidate for hip and knee replacement are candidates for this robotic technology. What we're able to achieve with this robotic technology is we can provide accurate and precise cuts. When you combine this with minimally invasive surgical techniques, patients can have surgery that's precise, accurate, minimally invasive, and recovery is much quicker than a standard approach. The robotic technology allows us to perform a custom-fitting hip and knee replacement. We know that when implants are placed correctly, patients recover much quicker than ever before, and the implants last much longer. Normally, hip and knee replacements are performed manually. It relies a lot on manual skill of the surgeon. Although robotic technology also relies on manual skill of the surgeon, it really doesn't allow the surgeon to make a mistake. The patients that are receiving this cutting-edge technology are often walking the same day of their surgery. Patients can ambulate often without canes, walkers, or assistive devices. One question that people wonder is, how much does this technology cost? The truth is, it doesn't cost any more money than the standard hip and knee replacement. The combination of robotic technology, a skilled surgeon, and minimally invasive surgical techniques allow patients to recover with less pain in a shorter period of time, and allows patients to get back to their active lifestyle quicker than ever before. We've been able to perform over 500 hip and knee replacements with this robotic technology. The patients are recovering quicker than ever before, and it's so exciting to be at the forefront of this technology.
When it comes to performing robotic surgery, Dr. Charles Tolson is one of the best. Now to the story of Diana. Most of her days were spent in tears due to so much pain in her back, but that has now changed thanks to Dr. Ty.
Well, in 2001, I had a back surgery, my first one, and I have a spondylolisthesis, a spinal disease. I was born with it, and they had to go in and put hardware in and fuse my lumbar, but about 6 months into it, I had 2 of the titanium screws broke. So they went back in there and replaced them, but from the time that they broke, the pain was just excruciating, and it just never got better. It just kept getting worse and worse, and I couldn't find any help. Medicine had quit working for me. I was passing out. I was throwing up from the pain. I couldn't sleep. My life was nothing. It was horrible, just horrible.
Diana, when I examined her, I mean, she could barely walk. She could barely do anything at all because she was in so much excruciating pain. She had lost so much functionality in there. The muscles weren't working, the nerves weren't working. I mean, literally nothing was working at all in her spinal cord and in her legs. And so what we did is we did a test treatment of my process to see if her nerves would even respond, if her body could actually even create that environment. Now, what we found was just amazing.
He did a trial on me just to see if my nerves would react to the treatment, and they did. I was able to sit up straight. I was able to walk straight, and I hadn't done that in years. So I started going to him and followed his process, because it is a process, and I'm doing great.
And she's basically a shell of herself now. I mean, she is just completely different, where she tells me all the time that when she goes to the bank and she goes to the grocery store, everybody doesn't recognize her. Because before, they were used to the Diana that couldn't even get around. And now, she's everywhere, and she's able to do things, and she walks around with a smile on her face. I mean, it's just priceless.
I'm able to go and do now. I've got grandchildren, I'm able to play with them. Before, you know, they had to visit me in bed, literally in bed. It makes me want to cry to think about how bad and how horrible I was living compared to now. Dr. Ty is such a caring doctor. I tell everyone, and I mean everyone, about Dr. Ty. I do, because I get the rest of my life now of living so much better than I ever dreamed I could have ever lived before. I never dreamed in a million years I was going to receive this much help.
Diana continues to live life pain-free thanks to Dr. Ty. And for more information on how Dr. Ty can help change your life, go to nerveandlaser.com or exclusivedoctorsdfw.com. Coming up, the story of Vince. With a short amount of time to live, he credits a special Dallas-Fort Worth doctor for saving his life.
It was really difficult for my husband and I. I was taking injections twice a day. I was also taking about 17 different supplements.
We had to find a way to take the 17 pills and how do you take that and make it 5 pills?
We narrowed it down to 6 core principal ingredients to give us the best fertility supplement on the market.
There's nothing else, all 6, no fluff.
In today's competitive digital world, it's more important than ever that your business stands out. And the way you do that is with video. As one of the country's leading video content providers, Identity Media Services can help you attract new clients. Adding video to your website can increase the chance of a front page Google result by 53 times. Or how about over 70% of web users will click on a link that has video over ones that do not? Give us a call for a free consultation or check us out at identitymediaservices.com.
Welcome back to the special edition of Exclusive Doctors DFW. After returning from a trip, Vince was diagnosed with a rare infection in his brain. The prognosis was not good until Dr. Brent Morgan stepped in and saved his life.
Well, the Apollo system is a unique device that we use to aspirate intracerebral hemorrhages. Basically, it's an endoscopic procedure. We place an endoscope under guidance, sort of like GPS guidance, but we place into the bleeding in the brain. And then we use this Apollo device to aspirate or suction out the hematoma. So it's a small hole and a small approach, and so we can do it very minimally invasively. According to the company, they said that we were the first hospital and I was the first doctor in Texas to do that procedure.
I had meningitis, a bacteria infection, and it was horrible. It was terrible. I was snow skiing, severe headaches. I thought it was the altitude. Then my memory stopped recording, and what I was told was that I had severe headaches and I wasn't thinking straight, and I was rushed to the hospital, and I ended up in intensive care, and Dr. Morgan showed up.
Vince was a patient that we had at the hospital actually up here in McKinney. He was found to have an infection in his fluid spaces in the ventricles in the brain, which is a lot of times a lethal problem. I had the idea of potentially using this Apollo device, which we use to aspirate bleeding, and I thought, why couldn't it aspirate out infectious process? And so we transferred him down to Plano, where we have this device, and we used the procedure to remove the infection from his brain, and it was extremely effective. The pre and post-op scans showed that we'd removed most of the active infection in there, and it completely turned his course around. So that was the first time nationwide anybody's used it for that specific indication. Luckily, that's not a very common problem, but in this patient's life, I really believe it saved his life because we were able to aspirate it out and get rid of the infection.
Dr. Morgan, he's just he's very knowledgeable, yet he's very friendly. He's some doctors are not good with patients. He is. He's just magnificent.
That's what we do. We try to do good things and turn patients' outcomes around. And somebody that probably was not going to survive their injury, and now he's surviving and he's functional. As I understand, he's back to work and doing a lot of things that he did before. I mean, that's exciting.
You know, people who have this kind of bleed, they press on the brain and then it herniates, and most of the time they have death. Even if they recover, they have weakness, they have problem with the speech, they couldn't talk, they couldn't concentrate, focus, and they have basically disabled. But now he is walking, talking. If he doesn't tell anybody, you can even say that he had this kind of procedure.
I feel like I'm a dead man celebrating life, and I'm happy about that. And Dr. Morgan's Apollo procedure saved my life.
Vince continues to do well thanks to Dr. Brent Morgan. And thank you for watching this special edition of Exclusive Doctors DFW. To watch more life-changing stories from these exclusive doctors, please log on to Exclusive Doctors DFW. So long, everyone.